So when I first played Half-Life Alyx, I thought the music was pretty great, and it did sound pretty Half-Life, although I will say it did also kind of sound a lot more like Portal 2 than I would have liked, and I thought maybe there's a couple things missing from the instrumentals in the Half-Life Alyx soundtrack that doesn't quite match up with what we hear in Half-Life 1 to Episode 1 and 2. And I think there's obviously a lot of different things that could go into that, but like one of the main things I notice, especially in a lot of the combat tracks, is that there's this particular sound, and it's somewhat different in like every single song, but it's there, and I can't hear it in anywhere in the Half-Life Alyx soundtrack, except in songs that they reuse from Half-Life 2, and it's this sort of hollow wind sound. It sounds like when your ears pop in like a plane, or when you're going in high or low altitudes, what the sounds around you sound like when your ears popping. And it's a sound my mic's not gonna pick up unless I take off noise suppression. So let me do that real quick. The sound kind of goes like kind of like that, but sometimes it'll be like spaced out, like it'll be like a like that sound, and I think that is what's missing from the Half-Life Alyx soundtrack, just the hollow sound of like wind rushing past your ears in high altitudes. And it really makes sense, especially for tracks like You're Not Supposed to Be Here, when you're chasing the helicopter on the boat. That's like the strong wind sound is something that you'd probably hear like flying down the water on that airboat, or like the Innsbruck experiment, when you're going sort of in like the sewer area and you run into the Metro cops with the SMGs. You're trying to get to them really fast so that you can, shoot him down before he shoots you with the SMG, because you only have a pistol. And it's like the sound of like a wind traveling through a tunnel. It's especially perfect for Half-Life 2's environments, but there's places like that in Half-Life Alyx, so I think it could still work. And obviously there's a lot of things that Kelly Bailey does that, things we don't really notice or pay attention to. Like, it took me a while to figure out what it was. But then there's also something like electric guitar ambience, which isn't specifically a reference to the actual Half-Life soundtrack name, but that kind of thing happens in a lot of the more ambient tracks, and sometimes a sound that kind of sounds like the grinding of stone, but like stretched out and slowed down as long as possible, to give it like this very like natural bassy ambience, if that makes sense. Anyways, I just kind of thought about that, and I was like, I'll just make a video on it.